Can you give me a clear definition of what denial of service is?
It's an attempt to make a machine or network resource completely unusable to its intended user. So this can be, I have a computer system or a server somewhere that the person's able to shut down the whole server so they're not able to access our web application anymore. Or it could be as simple as they were able to redirect or deface my web application so the server may be live, but no users can access it, right? Anything that stops the users from being able to use my intended service.
So, how is that different from a distributed denial of service?
A distributed denial of service is when we take a network of compromised computers and use them all to target a single computer. And the idea here is, or a single target should I say, it might not be a computer. But the idea here is that I have a botnet, or some attacker has compromised a bunch of different computers. So usually they do this with something like malware that they spread to all these computers, and then they take over the resources of those computers, and they can send requests or spam or something to all target a single resource, and it's supposed to overwhelm that resource from the amount of requests it's getting till it eventually takes that resource down and creating that denial of service.
What are some of the threats that can happen as a result of denial of service?
Well, the first is it's going to make our system either crash, exit, or restart, right? Obviously, if the program stops running or the system stops running, we have a denial of service, right? We could exhaust the CPU resources, so you get too many requests or one type of request is crafted in a way that it's going to consume our CPU, and that's going to cause it to not be able to process legitimate requests. We can do a memory exhaustion where we're filling up memory or we're taking over so many of the memory resources that we're not able to once again execute on legitimate requests. Another type is if we actually target the system storage. So say I have a terabit within my actual storage. If we're able to fill that up in some way, then legitimate data can't get saved or stored in there. You actually see this with a lot of logging, where if someone tries to fill up the logging system beyond what it can hold, and then they can try to do things within your system that aren't going to be captured anymore because they've filled up the entire space of that logging mechanism. And then finally, we can try to actually exhaust the network resources, where basically maybe my APIs, they're getting over requested and they're not able to process legitimate requests.